Good morning, traders, and happy New Year's to you all. Happy New Year, man. It's exciting, man, to be starting a new fresh year. 2019 is upon us. Yeah, man, it's been a good little vacation I had here. It's good to get away, but it's also good to be back. When you like trading, when you love trading, when you have a passion, you know it, um, because when you're out, doing other things, you tend to still think about it and want to get back to it. So that's how I knew, and that's how I know that this is my calling. And you find your callings. But anyway, yeah, happy New Year, guys. Hope you all had a happy holidays. I know I did. Spending time with family, um, and the kids, and just seeing them happy is what I love. I love the most. I was telling family, I was telling a couple people, I said, as long as the kids are happy, man, that's the most important thing to me. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed mine. I had a couple days off. No working, no any of that. Just chilling, relaxing. So I definitely enjoyed that. But yeah, back to it, guys. I'm gonna make this one quick. I'll make this scream the stream this morning quick. Just basically giving an overall overview of the market and how it has been and how it looks to be. Uh, so basically from what I've been hearing, it's just pretty much been trending downward. Um, with a couple exterior forces playing a role in it, with the shutdown, the government shutdown, and then the trade talks with China and thus and things of that nature. However, I did see that they are Jim, the prime minister, um, is willing to have talks with Trump, so that may help boost the market. But as of right now, as you can see, the market is currently it gapped down this morning. So it's it's still on that trend there. Correction I would say at this point. It's as I looked at another chart I had pulled up, I actually noticed that although it looks like it's definitely a bloody fall here. Looking at my other chart that I had pre-drawn on pre-drawn support and trend lines for the S&P, I realized that it's only hitting that line that I had. So therefore, it's still on the trend. It's still in a healthy uptrend. As you can see, the line I have here, this line, it started way back in like 2000, and let's see here. I started that line. Let's see. Started that line in 2009, as you can see here. This line goes all the way back to July 1st, 2009 is when I this trend line would apply. So, and that's a 10 year, as you can see, 10 years. So, if you really look at it and you really zoom out or zoom in rather now, you'll see that it is still sticking to the trend. As you can see, this is the trend line here. And let me actually thicken it up a little. All right. So you see this thick black line here. So the S&P is actually still on course and still in an uptrend, and it's actually over the 50 moving average. So looking in a micro sense, yeah, everybody's gonna panic. That's how it is. Oh yeah, the market's going. But having knowledge of the markets, you have to understand the big picture. Now, once it breaks below I would say this 50-day moving average, like 225 area. Then you may start to kind of wonder if it breaks below, and then the 50-day turns into a resistance. That's when you can I would start to say start to talk bear territory, bear market territory. I honestly right now I don't see that. It's just a healthy rejection. It is a little volume here, but nothing too major. You see the volume way back here. Um, what year is this? I can't see it. I have this up. The volume in 2011 August. Now you see this volume. That's when you see volume like that, that lets you know it's a huge sell-off. But it did recover. But the volume is nowhere near in comparison to that. So, it's just a correction in my opinion. Everybody has their opinion on it. Some people, um, say it's bear. Some people just say a correction. Well, my opinion, based on my technical analysis, is that it's just a correction until it gets under the moving average of 225. But anywho, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Yeah, I'll just be on here a couple more minutes. Yeah. So anyway, I just would like to know, guys, if you can comment below in the video. Um, just I would like to. I'm just curious to know what your New Year's trading goals are. What are your goals for this year? Do you have any goals set? If so, what are they? Do you have deadlines for them? Do you have smaller goals that will lead to your bigger goals? For instance, a weekly goal of $500, and then ultimately you want a yearly goal of whatever, $30,000. But do you have those things set out? And then do you have a plan to execute it? So anyway, that's what I would like you guys to comment below. I would love to hear it. As for me, um, right now, I just want my whole thing right now is to focus on consistency. It's not even right now. I'm not even concerned about. Um, I am not concerned about the exact profit amount right now. Um, I just want to see a higher percentage of consistency. Um, I tend to. I'll tell you my strength and my weakness. Well, actually, my weakness. I tend to. I'll have a good strategy, or I have a strategy that works. And it may work for a couple days. As you can see, the last couple videos I made, I went on a 4-day winning streak. 4-day, 6 trades total, or something like that, win streak. But I just tend to deviate from it. If it goes sour 1 or 2 trades, I'm not. I'm quite sure some of you can relate. I'm not. I don't want to say you do relate, but I'm just gonna guess that this is something that happens all the time, but it may not. But anyway, you tend to deviate, or I tend to deviate from something that was working. Um, the whole thing is you have to stick with it through the good times and the bad, especially if it has been proven, or it has proved to you that it can it does work. Your plan works. So although you may have some trades that go against you, or whatever the case may be, if you have prior knowledge, and you've been logging it, you know what I mean, and you've been really keeping up with it, and you look back and you see your probability of success is like over 70% with this method that you're using, 70-80% or better, then those 20% times where you lose, you just have to roll with that, and just continue to use that strategy anyways. And that's what's been a problem with me. I have some strategies, guys. I have about 3 or 4 that are like my go-to strategies. But the thing is with me is, if it goes wrong, especially if it goes wrong 2 or 3 or 4 times straight in a row, then I'm just kind of like off the bandwagon, off the, you know what I mean. I'm going on to the next thing, and that's not the way you do it. You'll never. And I had to tell myself this. This saying I'm gonna say to you guys. It definitely will mean a lot of helps. This is what I tell myself: you cannot have consistent gains if you don't have a consistent strategy. How could you be a um, consistently profitable trader if you're not consistent. Think about that for a minute. I have to tell myself this: how can I be a consistent trader if I'm not consistent in the market? Huh? If every day you're trying something new, or in the heat of the moment you're just doing whatever you feel at that moment, but not sticking to a strict, consistent approach, then how could you expect your results to continue to be consistent? You have to ask yourself that. Think about that. That's a very big, um, insightful thing that I told myself, and I keep reminding myself that. And it just only makes sense. It's common sense, really. If you want, how could you be consistent in the market? How could you continue to get consistent profits if if you're not consistent? So therefore, you have to stick with something. Whatever it is, stick with it. Or if you figure out you got a good thing going, even if it has a bad day or two or three, stick with it. It's almost like, a relationship or something. Hey, with your girlfriend, or with your boyfriend, or whatever the case is, you know, it's gonna be some bad days, but you just stick with it. You guys have had a lot of good days. You had a lot of good times doing whatever you were doing before. So stick with it. I know it's gonna be some days, hard days. You're like, man, maybe I need to, switch it up or maybe I need to switch it up for him, or maybe I need to do this different or do that different. But if you really think about it, like, okay, well, we've done something right to go this long. So how about we just stay consistent? So anyway, that's the lesson there. So this morning, it's a new year, so it's gonna be a lot of opportunities. Like I said, my goal is just to be a consistent trader. Right now, I'm not even focused on the amount of money. My first goal, alrighty, so they have Thinkorswim has a update right in the middle of the morning. But hey, I'll take it. It's cool. But anyway, um, yep, my goal is just to be consistent right now. Not even worried about the money amount that I make per trade. It's just the fact that I want to just be green. And if I had to make a first goal, my first goal with this $592 is to get up to $1,000. That's the very first monetary goal. Now, albeit the day is the second, so I think by tomorrow, Sure Trader is going to take that $104 fee. So I basically got to try to make a good trade today to cover that. I need to get to at least 604, which is $12 from here to cover that fee. So if you guys, if I record tomorrow, which I should be, I don't think I have any obligations at the moment. But if you see this down to like, if I don't make a trade today, tomorrow this will open at 488 because Sure Trader's fee is $104. Their monthly fee is $104. So even if I don't make any trades today, this is gonna go to 488. So, but my plan is to make a good trade today. I've been doing a little studying while I've been on my little break. So I definitely plan to get this up. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and restart this program. I just want to check in with you guys. Wish you all a happy New Year and successful trading days. Um, the best thing I tell you is to study, study, study. Because you got to realize, the market is full of sharks, and whales, and just very smart individuals. So this is like a sport or something. It's not a sport, but I'm trying to compare it to something. It's just like if you're in football or basketball or hockey or golf or whatever, tennis, whatever you're into. You got to be working as hard or harder than the next guy. If you want to be better than them. You can't expect to just be better just off of your looks or your hopes and wishes and dreams. You know what I mean? You got to put in the work. Because while if you're not, it's somebody else that is putting in the work. They're studying, they're back testing strategies, they're logging everything, they're reflecting back on trades, they're doing research, looking at news, and keeping up with the overall markets and the ETFs and the commodities and the world news. You have to keep that stuff in mind. There are people who are doing that. So how do you expect to be better than them if you're not? how do you expect to get ahead of them? Because this market is what they call a zero sum market, meaning when somebody wins something, somebody loses. So how do you expect to win over these people unless you're putting in that time and effort? So you got to do that. Can't take the lazy way out. That's what I'll leave you with. That's the one big jewel for the day. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna restart this here, and I will be checking back in with you guys at a later time. Take care.